Yo, what's up, guys? It's FG. It's Saturday, June 14th, and we're going to go over these charts. I'm going to tell you guys what I'm thinking. So, Bitcoin's narrative has been tricky to decipher this year. It comes out the gate with more hype than we've ever had before, and Q1 actually ended up being a bearish quarter. Q2 opens up with some of the biggest concerns we've had ever, and then it ends up being a bullish quarter. And so it's been tricky, but thankfully we've got good tools and we've got a good community, and I'm happy to be here. But let's talk about Bitcoin's narrative for the year. So I think there's a possibility that the low for the year is not in. The only thing is, before we could go to the yearly low, we had to sweep the high, which is what we did. So now everyone who was a bear at the start of the year has been proven wrong, egg in your face, liquidated, stopped out, whatever, humiliated. And it just seems like the perfect time now to be bearish in like kind of a big way. And so we haven't really seen it yet, right? Like we're still holding over the summer sell-off VWAP, that May VWAP there. Though it is sideways, right? And we're still over an upslope Q2 VWAP, so Q2 is still very bullish in this very strong uptrend. But there are some rickety warning signs starting to manifest. When we zoom into the smaller time frames here, what happened, guys? A bearish weekly leapfrog rolled through. We got some global war news coming out. So there's a narrative, there's a bearish narrative that we got hit with. A surprise bearish narrative. Um, and so we lost 2 weeks of VWAPs and the monthly VWAP. So for me, to get like more confidently bullish again, we gotta get over this VWAP cluster, this like medium term VWAP cluster of the 2 week to date VWAPs and the June VWAP. Gotta get over that, man. Because otherwise, what's the alternative? The alternative is we lose the May VWAP and we enter a summer sell-off kind of vibe. And then May VWAP starts sloping down, Q2 VWAP goes sideways, and ultimately in Q3, like once July begins, what if we have to fill all these imbalances in the chart and we end up getting a retest of last year's Q3 VWAP? I think that's a real possibility, guys. I really think it is. And it's not like it's even that bearish of a scenario. It's just the springboard for like a exciting Q4. Also, if we dump down there sooner than later, well then we open Q3 beneath the Q2 VWAP. And look, you've got a really nice long play up to that Q2 VWAP. So dumping down to these levels would be good. Now, you could have been early to any bearish moves that happened. Like you could have been bearish up here. Like in my last video, I told you guys my plan going into June was to wait for the CME gap right here to be taken out, and then I was gonna go bearish. I was spending time with a girlfriend like in this window of time, so I wasn't trading. But I was right to think that. Like we've already swept the all-time high, and so I don't think there is much of a need to sweep the high again before getting a healthy correction. I think we've seen what we need to see. Now, I could be proven wrong if we linger and meander sideways and we chop. into July. What does that mean? That means that maybe in July we do need to be, if we're still up here and we haven't gotten a healthy correction, I think it is likely that we take the high and we remind ourselves what the high is when July begins, when Q3 begins, and we create a quarterly high, and then we have a nice big summer dump from that point. So I am not going to sit here and tell you guys that I know when the exact timing of these moves are going to happen. But it does seem to me like at some point, this summer VWAP is going to go sideways. The Q2 VWAP goes sideways. And I've seen this before. Like, I've seen this in charts where it kind of slumps over. And it just really dumps down. And I'm being a bit leading with this. I'm being a bit leading because, the monthly, still a nice thick green dot. But there are some signs potentially forming, like a bearish 2-week wave here. The weekly, not really liking how that's looking right now. Yeah. It's not good that the May VWAP is going sideways and we're under the June VWAP, guys. So, those are the levels that we got to get over. Or else we start thinking about gapping down, getting a nice test of that year-to-date, like a bullish retest of that year-to-date VWAP, that Q2 VWAP there. Look at the money flow here on the 12-hour, guys. Definitely a noticeable decline in money flow here. The 3 days also got a worrisome money flow reading there. Yeah, it's not necessarily. We got hit with like major news too, like a major narrative that actually does stress the markets out, guys. So I'm open-minded to a quarterly scale dump slash correction, potentially even finding a yearly low off of this very high that we've created right here, sweeping the all-time high from earlier this year. Yeah. And this isn't an immediate prediction either. This is like something I'm thinking around the turn of July. Is like, yeah, it just makes sense for Bitcoin to undulate like that, even if the direction is up. Something like that. And these altcoins are not very exciting. So XRP stuck in its gulag here, underneath the June VWAP and the 2 weekly VWAPs. Got to get over those to get hopeful on that. Got to get over the May VWAP again to get hopeful here. Holding the previous Q3 VWAP quite well, I might add. But just in a big, large chop solidation, just like last year, it looks like. Ethereum, unfortunately, not hitting 3K psychological resistance before World War III started. Very sad days. Still holding the May summer sell-off VWAP, so we're still over these levels, guys. Believe it or not, ETH is holding. But it just got a big rejection off of that VWAP gulag up here. Man, look at that monthly trigger wave on Ethereum. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I'm bullish on Ethereum, right? But it definitely could get like a healthy little pullback back to the Q2 V up around like 2250 or something. And that doesn't really change like the chart really at all. So right now it is under 2 weeks of VWAPs. It does seem like over the weekend, like this is it maybe could dump down, and then you have a nice long reversal trade going into next week. It does look like that here on Bitcoin. It looks like the weekend is going to be like a weekend dump, and we run from these weekly VWAPs, right? But then there is a nice buy the dip long scalp knife catch, maybe next Monday or something. Yeah. Crypto's yeah, overall crypto's just doing okay, right? It's not like gold. Gold's been doing really good with the war news. And obviously any gold stocks like Newmont, they're going to do really good too. Um but also Palantir held up really good. And we can take a look at CoreWeave. CoreWeave, honestly, I'm a little worried for the CoreWeave. It does seem like it's uptrend that it's in, like this linear uptrend. It does happen in these charts often where the linear uptrend gets pierced and then you start printing to the upside again. So I'm thinking something like that for CoreWeave. I'm a little worried in like the short term, but yeah. Nvidia and AMD, they held up okay. AMD's been chopping back up. It's got a really nice yearly leapfrog that I'm really hoping happens by the end of the year on AMD. Nvidia holding up. MicroStrategy hitting its head on the summer sell-off May VWAP here, but doing some work reclaiming the bottom of this range here. So right now it looks like bulls are in charge on MicroStrategy for now, even though it's got some powerful resistance. Yeah. Overall, market's holding up surprisingly well considering what the world is going through. Where else can you even put your money? But that's pretty much it for this update, guys. Like, I want to make sure that you guys are aware that we're very far from Bitcoin's Q2 VWAP down at 98K. And also last year's Q3 VWAP all the way down at 84.2. Those are two very strong levels that I would think in July we at least try to go back down to. So be mindful that a new quarterly junction is upon us, and sometimes these big ideas really play out in our favor, such as if, like when we were in March back here, if you are planning for the eventual move back to the Q1 VWAP once this Q2 VWAP starts, then this whole move doesn't surprise you. See, like that daily candle body over the Q2 VWAP, that is your confirmation to start going long. And look, you don't even break that horizontal level of support. It's just up only from that point. And it worked in Q1 as well. Like when Q1 began, if you were thinking about this blue level right here, you nailed a couple good shorts, but you nailed the big short eventually at the end of February. And look, when Q2 began, we dumped down to last year's Q2. So when a Q3 begins in on July 1? What if we need to go back down to the July quarter from last year? Just a thought, guys. Something I'd put in your head. Be open-minded and trade safe. God bless. And say a little prayer for my brother in Miami. He's having a good time at that Mike Perry promotion. So I'm going to do a code for Market Cipher. For anyone who makes it to the end of this video, I'm going to do a code for Market Cipher and for my Leapfrog indicator. Code FIGHT, 30% off, and I'll have that running for you guys for the next couple days. And you guys have a good one.